Y'all hoes still lying to y'all talking about y'all gonna go to the gym and y'all gonna eat right and y'all gonna lose weight. Child, please. Well, if you still living in the state of delusion, child, you might as well click the link and purchase these health and wellness products to help you with your lives, honey. Bye. Now, so girl, I really didn't want much of nothing. I just ain't heard your voice in a while, so I figure I'd give you a call and we could just shoot the shit and talk about some random stuff and gossip like we used to do. Wanna talk about it? Here you go. That's a girl on this good Wednesday. It's a few things on my mind that I just, I don't know, random things that I just want to get off my chest to talk about. And the first thing on my mind is Todd Chrisley and his wife going to prison for tax evasion and all that other stuff. Now listen, y'all, I was having this conversation with my friends, and I'm going to ask y'all an honest question. Do y'all think people should go to prison for tax evasion? Like, in my mind, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels wrong for somebody to be locked up over some paperwork. And I guess at its crux, it's fraud or whatever. But I just think tax evasion is a dumb ass reason for people to be in prison. I mean, maybe you take all their money back and make them pay penalties and interest, but it's just really sad that these people and that people are going to jail. And the thing that's baffling me is Todd Chrisley is going to jail for a long time. I think he's going for like 14 years and she's going for like 7 years or 9 years. Don't quote me on the numbers, but she's going for single digits. He's going for double digits. That is a long ass time to be behind bars over some damn tax evasion. And the man, Todd Chrisley, is already old, so he's going to be old as shit when he get out. The lady, and you know what? I don't know. I do know. I think that this situation particularly pulls at my heartstrings because of their image, right? You know, you got the wife who looked like, you know, Paula Deen. She just looked like a very homely, like she baked ham and baked cookies. And it just makes, even though she committed a crime, it just makes you feel like, oh, give a lady a break. She shouldn't be in jail. And I know some smart ass is going to get in the comments and be like, I wonder if he would feel the same way if she was black. And yes, I would. If it was somebody's, you know, black grandmother, you know, we just lost Miss Holla. If it was like Miss Holla or somebody and they did tax evasion, I'd be like, let them people go. And you know what? Speaking of Miss Holla, y'all know everybody's favorite internet grandma, Miss Holla. My favorite line from her, she was getting her cancer and her granddaughter Cher said, Holla, I know a way you wouldn't have to do radiation. You could try a holistic route. She said, what did she say? She called me a hoe. I ain't no hoe, and I ain't no listed on the list for a hoe, okay? Now do it again if you want to, Cher. We lost Miss Holla a couple of days ago, y'all. But the internet is buzzing. I don't got all off track when I said Holla. The internet is buzzing because Shell put up a GoFundMe for Miss Holla. They wanted to raise $10,000. And then when I checked it last, it was at $14,000. They raised the $10,000 within an hour. When they checked it last, let me see, my friend sent it to me. Let me see if I can pull it up. See if I can pull it up. pull up the GoFundMe. My friend Quisha had sent it to me. Oh, here you go. Let me see what it's at now. Okay, check for Miss Holla. Oh, child, they don't raise $40,000 for Miss Holla at this point. And it says, hi, my name is Michelle Williams. My grandmother, Helen Davis, a.k.a. Queen Holla of Lottery Frappe and Laughs, passed away on January 14th of breast cancer. She did not have life insurance. If you would like to make a donation towards her homecoming, anything will help. Thank you for your continuous prayers and support. Now, a lot of people were like making comments on whether or not Holla had life insurance, whether or not, the family is exploiting this, trying to make money. I even had a friend say, well, they were asking for $10,000 to bury her, and if they really were sincere about it, after they raised the $10,000, that they would shut the GoFundMe down and, handle the business and basically just, not exploit this tragedy to get money out of people. The GoFundMe is at $40,000. Me personally, I didn't donate. I didn't donate. Obviously, at this point, they don't need it. They got what they need. I wouldn't have mind donating because Miss Holla did give me a whole bunch of laughs. But I am just curious to know. Miss Holla was terminal, okay? And I can't tell black families what to do with their money. But it seems to me like y'all knew she was dying. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all beyond y'all knew she was dying. And I could understand why some people are side-eyeing this GoFundMe because it feels as if y'all had all this time to know she was dying. Y'all knew a funeral was going to be required. At that point, the family then started saying, y'all know we're going to have to bury Holla soon. Let's start, scraping together, some of our coins so we can get a burial. Now, what I do respect is that if it is true that Miss Holla did not have any insurance, and I'm going to give Shell, her granddaughter, the benefit of the doubt because she's been transparent and very honest from what I could pick up on her social media this whole time. I do like the fact that she didn't come on the GoFundMe asking for $50,000 and $60,000. I have buried 2 parents, okay? And you can get somebody in the ground for as low as $7,000, all right? So the fact that she asked for $10,000 to me suggests that it is a legitimate ask and that they were just trying to get enough to get her in the ground. Now it's up to $40,000, which is cool. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think they should shut it down? Or do y'all think they should just keep going and get whatever they could get? Now, there already was a bit of scandal with the family because Shell got on social media and said that her brother took to social media and said that people were stealing out of Miss Holla house and stealing stuff and that, Shell was responsible for it and was taking stuff out of our house, so on and so forth. And Shell, y'all know how this goes in black families. Her response was, I was basically doing the best I could under the circumstances, and if you feel like you could have did better, then you should have been the one to come over here and see about her. That the people that were around me were my family, my tribe, my support center system. It was her husband, her stepdaughter, so on and so forth. But y'all know how black families gonna go. I can assure you, that same brother that went public on Shell, oh baby, he gonna be mad about this GoFundMe, baby, because the money gonna be deposited to Shell. And unlike a life insurance policy with a beneficiary listed, she don't have to do nothing. She don't have to share that money with nobody. And she's probably going to keep it. You know what I'm saying? And she's probably going to justify keeping it by, well, I was the one who took care of her and raised her, took care of her and saw about her. And rightfully so. But y'all already know this is going to cause a whole bunch of confusion in the black family, and I hate to see it. But rest in peace, Miss Holla. Anyway, back to Todd Chrisley them with that tax evasion. What my friend Katrina Hughes helped me rationalize it in. She said, when you're doing tax evasion, you are basically stealing. And so when you look at it and you frame it as stealing, then I can understand it for the crime that it is. And then I guess you were stealing each year. So she was like, you get you were stealing yearly when you file your taxes. This happened over a decade. So a year in jail for each year you stole seems to be fitting. But I don't know, just tax evasion just really seems like a very stupid reason to be sitting in jail. And I'm going to tell you something, right? Like, nobody wants to pay an exorbitant amount of taxes, right? I like taxes is definitely one of the things that I got scared about once I started making a certain amount of money. But here is my take on things. If I went from being just an everyday person, okay, and I was blessed somehow to fall into a reality television situation where I am making windfalls of money, right? The person that I am, I would honor that blessing by doing right. Me personally, because even if, you're making millions and you have to give hundreds of thousands back in taxes, you have to think back to those days, when you were collecting an every 2-week check from your job and whatever your salary may have been at that time. And even after the taxes, baby, you are still living good. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, let's face it, we're not going to pretend like reality TV work is hard work. All right? It's some of the easiest money that can be made in the country. So honor that easy ass job and honor that easy ass money and pay your taxes, or hire you a really good accountant so you can shelter your money legally as best you can so you don't end up in jail. And that man, Todd Chrisley, talking about he ain't gay. Well, if his ass wasn't gay when he went in, he damn sure gonna be by the time he get out. Catch that tea. Stephen A. Smith compares Rihanna to Beyonce. You know what, y'all? I hate that. He appeared on somebody's talk show and they asked him about Rihanna performing, and he said something to the effect of, she ain't Beyonce. And he since then issued a goddamn apology talking about he didn't mean no harm. No, he got a damn call from Rock Nation and they got into his ass. Stephen A. Smith stays saying something wrong that he ain't got no damn business talking about. And Beyonce and Rihanna are great. And I just don't, both are great. And we need to move to a space where we, number one, Beyonce is definitely one of the greatest entertainers to ever do it. That's unquestionable. But we also got to recognize too, Beyonce is not the yardstick by which we measure everyone. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is different. Contrary to popular belief, there are people out there that actually do not like Beyonce, don't like her music, don't like her, and that's okay too. But we have got to create a space where people can live in their silos and do their art without being compared to somebody else. And you know what? I would imagine that Beyonce probably gets annoyed with those comparisons as well. Beyonce is an icon. Rihanna is an icon for a different reason, but Rihanna is equally as much an icon as Beyonce is, and she's the richest female musician. Now, granted, Beyonce makes the bulk of her money doing her music. Rihanna does her music, and it's her Fenty brand that's taking her over the top. But don't sleep on Rihanna. And Stephen A. Smith should have never, ever made that comparison. It was just a dig, and it was classless, especially in such a public of a platform. Now, he should have did that at the house with family members over there while they was drinking beers or whatever the case may be. And you know what? Bitch. Did y'all see Antonio Brown in that big old dig? Oh, shit, honey. Man, when I saw that picture, I just wanted to suck it, bitch. I don't even suck dick. I stopped sucking dick in 2007. But that thing, ooh, I just wanted to suck it like this too with two hands or whatever the case may be. That thing, ooh, I got a little parched, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. I feel really bad for that lady. Okay, and she can't even go pick up her kids in the carpool line without the other parents looking at her or trying to not want to be associated with her. And don't get me wrong, we all partake in sex, and we all, like Jocelyn Hernandez said, love sex, dirty sex, every sex. We all like to do every sex or whatever the case may be. But sex is a very intimate act. I would never want the general public to see me performing any sexual act, to see me engaging in any type of sexual activity. I would be mortified. Y'all want to see my ass disappear from the internet? Like let videos or something of me in a sexual act hit the internet. I would probably have to go to Costa Rica for a little bit until things cooled off, because I would just be embarrassed. I mean, it is the most vulnerable. Listen, having a dick in your mouth is one of the most vulnerable positions somebody could ever be in. Or you being, laid out in the bed, whatever noises you choose to make while you are, engaging in an act of sex, that is vulnerable. I would never want the general public to see me oohing and on in that state of vulnerability. And to think that Antonio Brown has children with this woman. Now, he talking about his Snapchat was hacked. Now, that wasn't even a smart statement, because it's okay that your Snapchat was hacked, but the people who hacked it, how did they get the picture? Unless they hacked into your Snapchat remotely and then ultimately hacked into your phone. But nah, Antonio Brown, the type of sketchy behavior and the reckless behavior that you've exemplified in the past really leads me to believe that you did this. And revenge porn is a crime. Like, this lady does have grounds to sue and probably get some damages. And if it was me, I would most definitely be doing that. And last but not least, y'all, before I get off the line, because I got to do a live for Dr. Heavenly in a minute. What y'all think about TJ Holmes and Amy Robach? And on if they should be fired or not from their job. Now, I have never had a job that high profile like they have. But even when I worked in corporate America, part of my employment contract, there was a fraternization clause. And they're saying, that no fraternizing with employees. Basically meaning, bitch, you can't hunch nobody at the job. Okay? You can't be hunching and dating on folks at the job. Like, our company forbids that. And we can obviously understand why companies put those types of policies into play, because they can cause issues. Now, here's the thing, right? Amy Robach and TJ Holmes say they're going to sue them damn people if they don't get them their jobs back. And I imagine, knowing that that's out there, their legal teams are probably sifting through documents and consulting one another and trying to brainstorm if they have the right to let them go without them being able to sue them for any damages or whatever the case may be. I'm going to be honest with y'all, right? I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. And mine has less to do, the situation sounds more scandalous than what it is. She was divorced, and TJ was separated from his wife. Now, granted, the wife said she was blindsided and under the impression that they were working on their marriage. That makes him, kind of a dick, but that's personal. Obviously, he made the choice that he didn't want to be with the wife, and the wife even acknowledges that they were separated. So there really is no crime there. The thing that's just a little uncomfortable for me is having a boyfriend and girlfriend or a husband and wife duo sitting at the helm of a talk show. That's a little uncomfortable for me. And I don't know why. Now, granted, as a child, I always thought Regis and Kathy Lee was married and together, but that was just my little young elementary school brain. That's just a little uncomfortable for me. And if I was at the helm of that company, I would be thinking about things like, What happens if y'all get into a fight at home? How is that going to translate to your on-screen chemistry? Now that everybody knows you guys are a couple, will you be able to maintain professionalism and not be canoodling on camera, touching on one another? And the answer to that probably is yes, because they've done it thus far. But then again, they were also living and lurking in the shadows. So I would be curious to know what they're going to do. But I don't know. My spirit is telling me that they probably not going to get them jobs back. Like, now here's the funny thing. Ratings would go through the roof if they did. If they were smart and thinking about the ratings would actually go through the roof if TJ and Amy did come back to Good Morning America Block 3. Because everybody would want to see what was going on and everybody would want the tea. But then the company could also make an argument that y'all brought negative publicity to the show and we're not here for it. So we just want to have to see how it play out. Anyway, this Dr. Heavenly texting me now, child, about us getting ready to go live. So I'll call y'all hoes later. Bah.